Alright guys, stream is starting up a little early tonight just to make sure I get everything organized with no issues. It should start up momentarily. Everything should be kosher, I hope. I gotta make sure everything's up and running before I really start anything. Get everybody into the stream a little early tonight just to make sure everything is good to go. Kill that real quick here. Looking at all my stuff that came in. The thumbnail looks pretty good. Pretty good. Excellent. Excellent. Drink of tonight's choice. We're doing something a little different tonight. I got two different flavors. We're doing Pepsi Lime in these long, thin cans. I never saw them before. My local Walmart had some, so I decided to pick them up. So we'll see what happens there. Let me fix the light real quick here. It's a little bit off. There we go. Get a little more light in here. Hey, Anna, thanks for coming into the chat tonight. And the other drink we're doing is Pepsi Berry. Again, something a little different. Haven't had these yet. First time cracking them open, see what we got. It's not bad. It's not bad. Very interesting taste. Anna, tonight we're talking about Free Comic Book Day, which was, of course, May 4th, last weekend, as well as Star Wars Day. And I want to talk a bit about that and what my experiences was with that particular event, and get anybody else's experiences that would have went to this event in the chat, letting me know what they thought of the event. So we're going to be doing that shortly. I just want to make sure everything is good. Anna, is the sound okay in the chat? Please let me know. Again, I can't hear myself, so I don't know if it sounds well enough for you guys to hear me. Please let me know. Please let me know. Please let me know. Hey, Rainbow Optimus, how's it going? Hopefully it sounds good in the chat tonight. We're doing drinks. We're doing some Pepsi Lime tonight. My thoughts will be on tonight's stream. We'll be talking Free Comic Book Day. What my thoughts were, my experiences. If you didn't see that, I did a 15-minute video through my walk, through my video shooting of Tate's at Free Comic Book Day. Thanks, Rainbow. There was a lot to really digest for Free Comic Book Day, and I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. We'll talk about my pickups there. Usually Free Comic Book Day will have some type of collectibles that they will normally sell. Not just what the store has, but stuff they would have received in for this special day. A lot of stores do that. They really kicked it off, I would say, years ago, because this is not my first Free Comic Book Day. I've done, as far as shooting on my stream, and actually shooting on my channel rather, I've done, this will be my third Free Comic Book Day I've done. I started it in 2017 on my channel, but I did, this will be the third year of doing it on the channel. I did it since 2010. And so I come with you guys with a bit of experience and knowledge of what this event really is all about, how it has grown, how it has sort of hit an apex, and now it's sort of on a downslope, in my honest opinion. So it has done this, and I think it's doing this now. And I'll talk more about that in the stream tonight, because I had some big concerns with this particular event, and you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from and the angle I'm taking with this particular event. To me, it was a very special event. It's probably one of the, I would say, next to, let's say, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, the big Comic-Con events, this is probably one of the biggest events you'll see in the entire year. Mainly because Free Comic Book Day is a way to help grow the comic book community, get new readers on board, and maybe you've never picked up a comic before. Maybe you're a family and you have young kids and you want to break them into comics, and you really don't know the angle to take. This is a good way to bring them into comics. That's what sort of this idea is, to get new readership for these particular comic book companies. That's kind of the approach they take. It does make comic book companies a lot of money, and the comic stores themselves a lot of money on Free Comic Book Day. Yes, you're giving out free comics, but it's in the eyes of you giving them a little taste of something and hope they'll buy some more stuff at the store. That's sort of the approach a lot of comic book stores do with this sort of event. So there's a lot to really digest and unpack when it comes to this particular event, at least in my personal opinion. Again, I've had close to 10 years of experience going to these particular events, and I kind of know what's going on. Hey, Snitch Knox, thanks for coming into the stream tonight. We're talking Free Comic Book Day 2019 and Star Wars Day 2019. So let's kick it off a little early and talk first and foremost, did you guys go to Free Comic Book Day? Let me know in the chat if you went to your local comic book store's Free Comic Book Day. Let me know what you guys thought of it in this chat, please, what your opinion was of this event. I'm going to give you my personal take of what I saw. I didn't say it in the stream, really. I saw it, not stream. I said it in the video I talked about yesterday. I shot. I keep saying stream. Awesome, Rainbow. Well, I want your opinion about this, absolutely, because you come from... Yeah, Snitch, I think it's more of a U.S. thing. I hate to play that card, but I know it's very, very big in the U.S., and even certain states, when they have smaller comic book stores, don't even have an event like this. Luckily, in South Florida, for me, we have a couple big comic book stores. Main store I go to is called Tate's Comics. It's a guy that started in comics, as far as comic book, in the business of comics years and years ago. He's gone through, like, 4 or 5 different stores. He's moved them from location to location. I kind of followed him from these stores as his business grew. He had, if I remember correctly, he got stock from Marvel, and he did that with his dad to build his first comic book store called Tate's Comics. It has kind of bloomed and blossomed into sort of a comic book store explosion, and he has a gaming area as well. That you might have seen that in the video I shot yesterday when you saw the Dragon Heads. It's a Tate's gaming satellite. It's a second store right next door to his main store. So you get your free comics there. You go from the gaming satellite to his normal comic store. You walk around a little path to get your comics that you picked from. You were able to get four books, and they gave you a bonus book. Usually the bonus book would be you had an all ages checkbox or a teen checkbox, so you could pick one of the two type of books you wanted. And there was a bunch of like overstock he had from other free comic book day events that he'd pull from that group. Yeah, Rainbow. When I go through this whole bit, let me know what your feedback was with the particular free comic book day at your location. Let me know in the chat. I'll give you guys my interpretation, my take of what I saw happening. And I have close to 10 years of experience going to these events, so I may not be quote-unquote an expert, but I can give you the feel of what I saw and I feel about this particular event. So I won't say I'm the most experienced person with Free Comic Book Day. I'm not a store owner, but I have an understanding of how it works and what I feel and what I saw at this event. So let's kick it off. It is 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It's time to start the stream. Let me just refresh my secondary screen over here so I get everybody in the chat. Hopefully nobody bailed. So we'll have a listing here. We have about... refresh the screen here. We have 2 or 3 people in chat tonight. So let's go with Free Comic Book Day. So, ooh, Snitch. 2 a.m.? Woohoo! glad you're along for the ride, my friend. So we're going to talk Free Comic Book Day in this particular stream. So first and foremost, as I said on my video that I shot yesterday, if you have not yet seen it after the stream, I highly recommend watching it. I'm going to showcase the event. I walked through it. I got there around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I usually get there a bit early to shoot because the event starts at 10 a.m. So I shoot video for about 20-30 minutes as behind the scene footage of them building the piece together, putting up all the comics, seeing how the area would look before everything was really constructed. Sort of give you guys a feel of them when they built it up. So that was the idea. And you'll see a little black screen that says bonus footage go across the screen. That's how you know you're in the bonus footage segment. So the idea basically here is that when I got there around 9 o'clock, I started shooting all the bonus footage. And I'm going to drink here 1 sec. When I started shooting all the bonus footage, I looked at the line that was forming. Usually the line that forms pretty deep. About 10 minutes before they opened the doors, I decided to walk down the line. And the line ended about, I would say about 100 feet from the door. In many years during that beginning portion, right when they were lining up at 10 a.m., that line was really wrapping in on itself. That was not a good sign for me going into the event. I said, something seems off here. Even as people started coming in and piling in, I talked to one of the owners there, and I asked him, I don't want to address him by name, but I asked him, does it feel a little off to you? He's like, yeah, it seems like there's less people coming in. This is about when people coming in for about 20-30 minutes. And he was getting a feel of the lay of the land, much like I was. And I was noticing a couple things. When I was there, I had to leave around close to a little after noon because I had to run to take some errands. So I couldn't even pick up my free comics, unfortunately. I was in line to get them. I had them in my hand, but unfortunately I couldn't grab the books. So I was looking around in my video, and I noticed something right off the bat. And before I go any further, this was a special event for this particular Free Comic Book Day, which of course was May 4th. That was also Star Wars Day, May the Force be with you Day. It's a day that kind of got created by fans for May 4th as being a geek holiday, so to speak. This day normally would take place on a Sunday, and most of the time Free Comic Book Day would be on a Saturday. So you had Saturday Free Comic Book Day, and Sunday would be, or the following week would be Star Wars Day. Either that Sunday or the following week Sunday would be Star Wars Day. But this time it rolled together in sort of a neat little package on the same day. I said, you know what? This is going to be a big, big, big event. I thought it'd be a huge event. I was mistaken. I really was mistaken here, guys. And hear me out here before we delve into the chat. One thing I noticed right off the back from 10 a.m. up until close to 1 o'clock, about 12:30, there was not one cosplayer. Not one person was dressed up in costume. Usually for this event, I would see by this time, at the same identical time, going back about 9, 10 years ago, during the same time frame, the same block of time, because I usually would get there around 10 to 12 a.m., and that's how long I would stay, and then I would leave. During this time frame, I would see tons and tons of cosplayers. I would see maybe a dozen and a half cosplayers, at least, during this event. I saw none. Zero. Not one person was dressed up. That was very disheartening to me, especially being sort of a double holiday as far as geekdom goes. There was no people there. I would say there was really technically one cosplayer, and it was a dog, like a little chihuahua, dressed up as Wonder Woman. I kid you not. A dog had more cosplay in itself than anybody in the entire event. Why this happened, I don't know. I can't put my finger on why there was no cosplay. I don't understand. I don't know, Rainbow Optimist, did you have any people dressed up in cosplay at your event? Hit me up in the chat, please, if you're still in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Drink of tonight's choice. We're doing some Pepsi Lime tonight. And if I go through that, we're going to do some Pepsi Blueberry, or called Berry. So that's the drinks for tonight. So that was very disheartening. Your free comic day was a lot of fun. I met and talked with a lot of friendly people, and sales were decent. I scored great stuff. I wish I had $10,000 more to spend. I hear you, Rainbow. I really do. Did you have any cosplayers by you? The event itself was fun. Don't get me wrong. The event was very fun to go to. People who have never experienced a free comic book day before, I always recommend them going. You're going to get something for free. There are choice of titles. Again, I mentioned it in the video I shot yesterday. You had silver books and you had gold books. I even mentioned in the video that silver books were not necessarily quote-unquote bad. You just had a lot more choice for silver books as opposed to the gold titles. And even in the gold titles, I think you had Avengers was one of the gold books. The choice of gold books are usually much less than the choice of the silver books. One thing that was very surprising, though, was that they had a new Avengers book, which is Avengers and... I didn't even get it. It was Avengers and Savage Avengers, which is a two-part book, which is like a big kickoff for Marvel, the new Avengers book they're rolling out. DC didn't have anything. They had one thing. I stand corrected. They had one thing in their store, but they didn't have it on Free Comic Book Day. I saw it on my pull list when I went in there. I took a look at it. Okay, that's understandable, Rainbow. I'm coming from a perspective of a YouTuber, and I usually shoot a lot of cosplayers when I go to these events. Thanks, Snitch. Thank you very much. Never been to the UK. I would eventually love to go to London, just because it would be a very different experience compared to the States. Never been there. On my bucket list of things to go to would be definitely overseas to the UK. I definitely want to go to San Diego Comic Con because I've never been there before. It is on my bucket list. It's something I absolutely want to do. But the idea, especially someone like yourself, Snitch, the video I shot yesterday would be perfect for you to sort of get a feel of what Free Comic Book Day is all about. That's why I do these videos, is to give people the feeling and the ambiance of what it would be like to go to an event when you can't get to one of these events. That's sort of the idea I try to kind of hit home with. I usually incorporate, for the most part, usually I put in people who are in cosplay. I put music through the entire video because you usually don't hear me talk at all. I want the audience to absorb what's going on screen. I don't want you to be distracted by something I say or something I do. That's the idea. A lot of people who are YouTubers will go to these events, they'll sit there and gab and talk talk and talk and talk. Most of the time, you don't want to hear these people talk. You don't care about what someone's experience might have been. You want to take it in for yourself as if you're looking through my eyes, my camera. That's what I try to really hit home with in my both my Comic Con videos and my free comic book day video. That's what I try to really nail, and I think it came out pretty good for the most part, minus the cosplayers. If you watch the prior years, if you watch 2018's free comic book day, you'll see a dramatic difference between the two videos. And mind you, this is just a year difference between the 18 and 19 video. I changed no different style of what I did. It's just those different people here in this particular event. Again, I'm not sure the reason why. Like I stated earlier, I stayed for about 3 hours or so. Again, I'm using this as a piece of time compared to prior years in the same scope of time. That's the idea. And I picked up a lot of cool stuff. And again, Rainbow, I hear you completely. If you had more money, I wish I had more money as well. I would have bought a lot more things. Hey, Bizarre Supergirl, thanks for coming into the chat tonight. We're talking free comic book day. Snitch Knox is here as well. Guy from the UK. Snitch, have you watched stuff on my channel before? Let me know in the chat, please. So, I did pick up some really cool stuff, and I wanted to showcase it off to you guys. One of the things I'm a big proponent for is local talent. And what I mean by local talent would be local artists, local writers, people who are trying to make their name in the comic book industry. I love showcasing off local talent because they usually don't have a name or a brand to really showcase their talent and their skills. And I can barely draw a stick figure, okay? I have zero. I have less than zero. I have negative skill when it comes to drawing. I wish I could draw stuff. I wish I had the finesse and the expertise and the knowledge to draw really cool comic stuff or supernatural stuff or hero stuff, or it doesn't really matter, fantasy stuff, sci-fi stuff. I just can't do that because I don't have the knowledge, the brain to hand coordination to make things like that happen. A lot of people can. So one of the things I try doing at every convention I go to, the free comics themselves, I wasn't able to pick any up, unfortunately. I had the ticket in my hand, but I had to run errands. I had to run out there quickly. But I used the same amount of time to judge this event. So what I decided to do was I went to a local comic artist there named Rob Reap. I picked up stuff from him at prior shows, prior conventions. I saw him at SuperCon for the last 2 years. He'll be there at this year's SuperCon. He got tickets to New York Comic Con. Awesome, Snitch. So I went to his booth again. He was setting some stuff up there. And he had some new artwork. So I really love his artwork. It really talks to me because it's sort of a very cartoony, sort of 80s feel to it. I'm a child of the 80s. So I picked up 3 pieces. He had a special going for 2 for $20. You buy 2, you get 1 for free. So I'm going to showcase off his art. Big plug to him again. This is Rob Reap. So here's one of the art pieces I picked up. Hopefully you can see it. It is an Endgame piece that he has. Something he worked on a year ago. I thought it was a very cool piece. I saw the black and white layout of this before he colored this thing down. So I knew what this was looking like before when he did it for last year. I just thought it was a very, very cool poster. And I usually put a lot of these local artists' work inside a portfolio. I keep them all together. Next was very reminiscent to, let's say, Conan. The old Marvel's, like 1970s, 1980s Conan book from Marvel, was the Jon Snow the Targaryen, heir to the throne. Very, like I said, very Conan feel to it. I love how it looks. Looks really, really cool. Looks like something you could see as a comic book. Absolutely. Thought it was a really, really great piece. And last but not least, if you guys know me well enough, I'm a big Queen fan. I have seen it, Bizarro. I have not yet purchased one. I'm probably not going to. I like some of the Ewoks. The Wicked one was not really my cup of tea. And the last piece, I showcased it on, he had a shirt, Rob had a shirt of it. I picked it up, I saw it, I was kind of thrilled by it. The band Queen had a layout for one of their albums, and he took creative license and designed it around Killer Queen, which of course is the alien queens next to 2 xenomorphs, and you have the facehuggers and an egg. So I thought this was very, very cool. He has a thing going where you can take any of these art prints and put it on a T-shirt. So he had this particular print you see here, wearing it as a shirt. So if you watch that video, you'll see this print. I saw it. I said I had to get it. Immediately bought it. It was one of the ones I knew for a fact I definitely buy it. Absolutely, it is. Then I picked up some comics there. So I have a not really a pull list, but I went through and picked up some stuff I was interested in, and here's some of the stuff I decided to pick up. It's a new book. It only costs you a quarter. It's called Year of the Villain. This book is sort of an anthology title. This was not a free comic book day book. You had to spend a quarter on it. If you notice the price right here, it does say quarter. And it sort of, I guess, starts a lot of storylines in this book. And again, it was not a free comic book day book. This would have been a perfect free comic book day book, in my honest opinion, because it has a lot to do with, let's say, Batman Who Laughs, Legion of Doom. You have the Dark Secret of Leviathan down there, which would looks to be probably something to do maybe with Wonder Woman. I'm not sure. It's the Dark Secret of Leviathan. I'm not sure who Leviathan is down here. This is, of course, the whole Legion of Doom, which is the counter to the Justice League. So I picked that up. I said, you know what, for a quarter, you can't really go wrong with that. And I picked up some of my normal books. I have not yet read this book yet. I have not read any books in the series yet. I want to get, usually when a miniseries comes out or a maxi series comes out, like 6 books, 8 books, 12 books, I will not read one book until I get the entire set, because I don't want to sit there and wait month to month or bi-monthly for a book to come out and forget what I read. So I picked up book 8 of Heroes in Crisis. This is a book really designed about a special island called Sanctuary that Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman has created for post-traumatic stress disorder superheroes or villains. They go to this island retreat to decompress. That's the idea of this, and there's a murder mystery that takes place on this island. That's all I know about so far. Next was the variant issue for Green Lantern number 7, which looks really, really cool. I'm on issue 5 right now, so I haven't read 6, I haven't read 7, so that's definitely a read. And a book that I think is going to be very, very cool. It's DC's counter to Marvel Zombies. It's a book called Deceased. The idea is a techno-organic virus gets it happens because of Darkseid on Apocalypse. It hits Earth. If you're curious, the artwork is by Taylor and her nurse. I'll kind of showcase the art a little bit so you can see what it looks like if you're curious. Here's some of the artwork. I don't know if I want to spoil the end for you guys, but it is extremely bloody. It's not a book for young kids at all. Heck, I'll spoil it for you. Let me get to the back here. You think there's a problem here? I think there's definitely a problem. So yeah, I'm assuming this is in continuity. Thanks, Bizarre Supergirl. That's why I do all of my, hey, Mr. Sum, thanks for coming in. Awesome, dude, thank you very much. That's why I do all of my free comic book day videos or Comic-Con videos. I do it the same format throughout any of my videos. When I do those type of events, I really want the audience to feel what's going on. Next is one of the items I was really hoping to get my hands on, and this is going to be probably a video review coming out, hopefully this week. I got to strike when the iron is hot, and it's going to be the Constantine Pop. This was a free comic book day exclusive. You see it right there. Limited to 20,000 pieces. Hopefully it will focus. Hopefully it will focus. Might not focus. The poster right here does say limited to 20,000 pieces right down here. I don't know if you can really get it, but hopefully it doesn't get glared. Right down here says limited to 20,000 pieces. Usually, they sort of showcase that off as a very important thing. I don't know how much a normal set of pops would normally be as far as a run would go. This one guy was really, really cool. Price point, if you notice right here, I mentioned it in the video, was $20 US. In my opinion, I think it's a little high. Just because you would think a convention exclusive, this should have been about $15. I said it even in the video. I think this should have been about a $15 pop. I don't think it should be more than that. I will do, like I said, a full review of this guy. I will take him out so you can kind of see what he looks like. Um, just if you were curious what he looks like, especially someone like Snitch who might not get someone like this. He is reminiscent from the old Constantine TV show. Not even, I want to use the word old. It is a newer show. It was canceled sooner than it should have been. It was a very, very good show. This takes liberty from the pilot episode. The end scene of the pilot was a scene he did. This was like literally right out of the comic, right out of the TV show. I love the tie. Look how the tie sort of bellows. They sculpted it with a sort of a bend. I love how that looks. Looks really, really cool. I think they did a really, really good job on this Constantine pop. It does not come in a figure stand. Does not need a figure stand. I thought this pop was absolutely worth it to me. To me, it's a $20 pop. It really is. But as far as what I think the value is for what it should have sold it for, it shouldn't have been more than $15. To be quite honest. I did not pick up the Red Sun. It was a special 2-pack of the Tikis. Cryptozoic normally every year gets a set of special bombshell pops. Let me grab them real quick. Bombshell figures. One second. Let me grab it. Perfect. So here's kind of what the bombshell looked like last year. So this was last year's bombshell. They normally come in a can, looks like this, the little bombshell for Cryptozoic. And you know it's free comic day because you have the logo right there. And this was the Harley Quinn one. This is the red, white, and blue one. And it was the same sculpt, just a paint variant. And I do like the little bombshells. I don't have a full wave of any of them, but I like them because I think they're absolutely adorable and cute. I love how they look, and I think they're very, very neat. They are little staction pieces, meaning there is no articulation anywhere on these little figures. You can't bend the head, you can't move them. They're posed in this pose intentionally. There's nothing on the base, I don't believe. It's just a standard red base. Again, this would take liberty from that wave of all the ones that were available. I believe this was wave 2 when this came out. And I think they're up to wave 3 now, if I remember correctly. But I absolutely love the little bombshells. I think they're very, very cool little figures. And Cryptozoic has made silly amounts of revenue off these little figures because not only do they make them this size, they actually blew them up in higher scale. So you have the same sculpt and different paint jobs, just in a bigger figure like this tall. I'm eventually probably going to do a review of the 3 black and white ones that I've got out of subscription boxes. One was Supergirl, one was, I think, Batgirl, and one was Harley. But they're all black and white. No, they did not Bizarro Supergirl. Not for Free Comic Book Day. They made something called the Tikis. The Tikis are a new property that has come out from Cryptozoic. They are very stylized. They're figures about this tall, and they look like tiki idols dressed up as superheroes. They've done all the main characters. They've done Batman, Superman. They've done Harley Quinn. They've done Green Lantern. They've done several different villains as well. I think the second wave is coming out, but this particular one that came out at Free Comic Book Day was part of as a 2-pack for what was called Red Sun. Red Sun was a limited series that came out years ago. If I remember correctly, Red Sun was I think it was also in an Elseworld book where what would happen if Superman landed in Russia. That's why he was known as a Red Sun. Because he landed I could be completely wrong here. I do apologize. Let me get my facts straight. Before I say yes or no, I want to say that's the idea. I could be absolutely wrong here, but I think I am correct. Let me kill this real quick here. I think I'm correct there, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Let's see, Superman Red Sun. Let me just check it here, because again, I could be talking out my backside, but I think that's what happened. I think I'm correct. Yeah. Yeah. Superman Red Sun. That's Superman Red Sun right there. Kind of, sort of Snitch. Let me get Cryptozoic Tikis. Let me get the Red Sun. Red Sun. It's called Tikis. Free Comic Book Day. Put it in real quick here. get an image here so you can see what they look like. I saw them. I shot it in the video, and I was going to pick them up. But I decided to hold off on it. Um, there was nothing really wrong with them. I can't even find the image now. I think I do it as Red Sun, 2 words. Hey, how's it going, sir? There they are. So these are the Red Sun Cryptozoic tikis. They're meant to stand on top of one another so you can stack them, sort of like a tiki idol. That's sort of like the gimmick. You'll see some other ones at the bottom here. You have down here on the bottom, you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Joker, and Harley Quinn. And they have chase versions of certain guys as well. So if you were curious, that is the Red Sun 2-pack right there. So I decided to hold off on it. I wasn't going to buy it. But again, I did see that. And the other item they had was the Black Suit Symbiote Spider-Man. Diamond Select made those. There was it was Spider-Man in the same pose as the normal the standard costume, but it was a black symbiote. There was a busted light lampshade laying down, and he's like laying on the wall. Looks okay. Yeah, if you saw the Geek Tiki's Snitch, very similar to those, but they're usually a smaller scale. Those ones would be about, I want to say about the can size here. They're about this, as far as the height, you're looking each one to be about this tall, the tall of this can. If you saw, Harley was a little smaller than the can, so you're looking at about maybe 2.5, 3 inches here. A pop here is about 3 inches, so about the size of the can is how tall the tikis would be, their height. Hey Leo, thanks for coming in the chat tonight. Passing the torch. Which one is that? They might have called it a different name. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Rainbow. Most books, if it's newer, I probably would have read it. Oh, I know that one. I absolutely have read that one. I don't remember it being called Passing the Torch, but I have indeed read that one. Jade was in that one. That has to do with Zero Hour. If it's one of the covers look like this, that means it's part of Zero Hour. It might have been part of Zero Hour. That's when Hal was Parallax. If I remember what it was, I don't know if this is the one, but I know he went back in time to a younger Hal Jordan. A lot of the older Green Lantern stuff, there was a point of time where I stopped reading Green Lantern. Oh, thank you very much, Leo. There was a bunch of GL books I read I've read GL since '94 when I read Green Lantern. There was a time where I stopped reading the books. Really nothing to really do with Green Lantern. I just was just sort of disheartened with comics as a whole. My books from Marvel, which was Darkhawk, got canceled. I read that for 5 years. It was one of my main books I pulled from Marvel. It ran its course, ran for 50 issues, and it was done. Again, I like sort of B-string, C-string heroes. I like the heroes that no one really cares about. Things like Darkhawk, Sleepwalker, the New Warriors, when it was the New Warriors. Those are the books I really liked growing up. Green Lantern, I gravitated with. I talked about many videos. A buddy of mine was a huge Batman fan. I wanted to get a title that was not Batman. I wanted something different, and he mentioned Green Lantern to me. I knew about Green Lantern from the Challenge of the Super Friends cartoon, and he advised me to pick up Emerald Twilight, and I picked that up, which was issues 48, 49, and 50, which of course was the destruction of Coast City and the birth of the Parallax character from Hal Jordan, the original Parallax, not sort of what Jeff Johns decided to revamp and retcon how Parallax worked. It was completely different. You're looking for the comics with the Rainbow Batmans. Those are older books, Leo, like really older books. If you're looking for what I think you're talking about, which I could be wrong. No, I think it's Batman comic. I think I'm talking about something different. Yeah, okay, you're looking for something like this. That's the book you're looking for. That is probably going to be a really expensive book. It's an older detective book. Volume 1, issue 241 is what you're looking for. That's the name of the book. It's a classic DC book, as you see right there. Oh yeah, you're Snitch. That's what I was thinking of. You're thinking of the suits of Batman, the weird Batman suits. It was an older comic that came out years and years and years ago. This one right here. It's another detective book. That's what you're thinking. That's what I was thinking of. Also, Snitch was this one. Those are the many suits of Batman. There we go. So that's what I was thinking of as well. That suit right there. Yep, that's the one. That's what I was thinking of. So what they decided to do was take that eclectic older detective book and make the Rainbow Batman series of characters for Funko. Then there was one for each color. That's what they did. It was very very cool. Yep, I know those very well, Leo. Probably the best place to I would say to have looked would be FYE. That would be the place I would go to. Oh, Rainbow, you're probably gonna like some of the new stuff that's coming out for Transformers too. I'm assuming you've heard about the Ecto One Transformer coming out. I think it was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, or they talked about it. Ecto One, and it's gonna be based on a comic too. There's a crossover. Transformer. It's this guy right here. There's your Ecto One Ghostbuster, right there. That's what it's gonna look like. It has even a proton gun right there. And there's going to be a comic which will showcase this off. It's Transformers meets Ghostbusters. My favorite Transformers to this day. Uh, Here's a nice one right there. There's a nice little image of it as well. My favorite Transformers to this day was, you might laugh, Rainbow. Again, I like more the B string heroes or villains. I'm a big When I first collected, I liked one of the Seeker jets, which was Skywarp. That was my favorite jet, and Blue Streak was my favorite Transformer car. Those are two I owned when I was a little kid. Yep, I think it's gonna be a GameStop exclusive. That's what it looked like. But yep, have you seen the new DJ RX3 Pop? That'll be exclusive to Galaxy Edge. I have not seen that one yet, Snitch. Just take a look at it real quick here. DJ R3X. Let's take a look at him. Oh, that one. I'm assuming it's this guy right here. Right there. Looks like a DJ. I guess that's the idea. Cool. Very, very cool. So we're coming up to 9:30, guys. I wanted to give you guys my opinion of a Free Comic Book Day. I was kind of disheartened by it. We kind of got off topic. I don't think it's out yet, Bizarro, as far as I know. I do know what Ugly Doll is. Going back to Free Comic Book Day, like I said, I was a little disheartened by it. There was no cosplayers. It seemed a lot less than it was for the last few years. I don't know if your experience, like, I know your experience was good, Rainbow. I don't know if you had any cosplayers by you, but me, not at all. Those are always good, Rainbow. I have one right near me as well. The biggest problem, though, is that a lot of stores have different product, and especially if you see any of the collectibles they have, they're mainly there not because the stores order them, it's because people have ordered them and probably haven't picked them up yet, and they put them on display. A lot of stores do that. But all Free Comic Day was enjoyable, and it being Star Wars Day as well. I thought it was very good to combine them both together. It was just kind of disheartening that I think it's now on the decline now. I really do. I don't think as many people showed up at this event, especially being a double event where it was both Free Comic Book Day and Star Wars Day, May 4th be with you day. It seemed a lot less than it had it last year. It's just very, very sad when you think an event that was this big, you would thought more people would come out to it, people would be dressed up. I thought there'd be much more for it, and there wasn't. And it's just an unfortunate sort of way it is. I want to thank everybody who came into the stream tonight to chat with me about Free Comic Book Day. definitely take a look at this stream if you've missed portions of it. It's going on the video on demand. Definitely take a look at the prior day's video, which was Sunday. I did a full video of Free Comic Book Day and the Star Wars May the Force Be With You Day. I walked through the event. I showcased you kind of behind the scene footage at the end of the video. I did it sort of how I shot my Comic-Con videos. If you like me at Comic-Con, I'll be doing the same thing going to SuperCon this year. I will be at SuperCon. I will be shooting video there. I know there's definitely going to be cosplayers there. I know a list of stuff I'm going to get my hands on. I want very, very badly. I will absolutely be at SuperCon this year. So that's very, very cool. Again, guys, I want to thank everybody who came into the stream tonight. I'm going to be canceling it now. I'm going to be shutting down in 3, 2, 1. Take care, guys, and see you next stream. Bye-bye.